time these guys go into a final and there's this expectation of breaking that trophy drought, take the pressure every time is more, and every final they go into it's just more and more. They probably feel more pressure tonight than they did in the Champions League final, just because it's gone on for that long and almost because it's a less sought after trophy. It's almost, there's more expectation now and more pressure to go and do it, and Spurs are just the Spurs inside, mate. Like, that is Spursy is a word in the football industry.
But look, we've got a video that I'm going to bring in now. So we wanted to really speak to a lot of fans outside the stadium, well, not just outside the stadium, but in general, about what is your favourite European moment? Because a lot of fans will probably speak about recent moments, you know, the Lyon game, the Bilbao game, and obviously the 99, the Champions League as well. But there's so many different over the past, whatever, since 1878, you know what I mean? There's so many moments that we've had. So I want to know, put in the chat, what is your favourite or best Manchester United European moment? Or send in a super chat and I can read it out and then we can discuss it as well. But we went down to the Bishop's Blaze and we spoke to fans about what their favourite European moment is as a United fan. Alright, so we are outside of Old Trafford, and I know the game's not here, it's at Athletic Club, but look, we're going to speak to some fans about their favourite European moments. I know there's some main ones, but first of all, what is your favourite European moment as a United fan?
Well, as a fairly young Manchester United fan, the last European final I really remember was the one we got beat in 2021, and I remember the Europa League in 2017. So it's a Champions League, memory's not too great. The only Champions League final I really remember watching properly was the Barcelona in 2011 when Messi just absolutely tore us to shreds.
That's a big question, very big question. So, earliest Man United moment in Europe was the 91 Cup Winners' Cup. I was a young boy, and I swear down, I watched Mark Hughes' goal earlier on today, and I thought, I do not remember it being that good. It was such a good goal. 99, I was working, my first good job as a 16-year-old. I had 20 quid on to win. And I remember thinking at the time, do not bet on football again. And then all of a sudden, they won. Like, the results are the results. I just don't remember. It's like, you can talk about Liverpool winning the league this season, Arsenal finishing second, whatever you want to do. And more people are going to talk about what United did this season in the Europa League than anything else.
Favourite European moment has got to be 08 final. Van der Sar. Cheeky one to the right. Go on, get it, mate.
There's a couple now, like, I wasn't alive obviously for the 99, but I'd probably say over recent years, I'd say it has to be the Lyon game. I was out with my mates in the pub actually, and when we started to drop the form, and equalise and then took the lead, I actually went home. So yeah, I gave up. I went home and then turned it on when I got home, and then in the space of like 5 minutes, the whole thing just flipped.
So you caught the ending?
Yeah, I caught the ending. I've seen the whole thing.
1984, Manchester United, Barcelona, Brian Robson. Absolutely best, the best atmosphere that stadium has ever seen. We can all talk about 99, 08, but for me it was 2 weeks ago, Bilbao away. It was one of the best nights I've ever had in my life, and the people there were so nice.
My personal one was Barca game here, 2008. He scored.
Okay, yeah.
I was here for it, so that was the top moment. Yeah. I was in the ground.
Oh, you were in the ground?
Yeah. That's my favourite.
Yeah, mine, I'm obviously a little bit older than you, but I remember watching that 08 final with my dad at home. Obviously, I used to live in Old Trafford, so I was down the road from this, but obviously we didn't play at Old Trafford, but I was down the road, and like I said, I remember the penalty shootout, I remember the Ronaldo goal, the Ronaldo miss, that might be probably one of the most heartbreaking moments as a United fan, especially as a young United fan. He's probably like everyone's hero, you know, when you Ronaldo and see him miss.
Anyway, what score he's going with tonight, guys? I'm only here for half an hour, so give me your predictions, go on. We haven't got long though.
Champions League moment. So there's quite a few Champions League moments in there. I know I've read the chats, so maybe different ones. I'm going to read some super chats first, and then I'm going to quickly go through a couple of them and we'll talk a little bit about it as well. So first super chat is from Vibes FC, request for Kev to sing Casemiro's song Button. Where is Kev? I don't even know where Kev is. He's going to be here for the forum anyway, so I'll definitely, if we win, don't even worry about hitting a light count. Kev has to sing. He said he's gonna bring his guitar actually. He didn't bring his guitar. He did say that. So Kev will
What's
sing
Gordy's
the
going
front
with
for us,
tonight?
so
Go on,
make sure you
tell
stay
me.
for that after the game. Super chat from Robert. I'm so excited, lads. Get the job done. United. I love that. Another super chat from Connor Edson. A pint for you both. Second chances are rare in life. Anything less than dying in the shirt is unacceptable for these players.
Yes, that's what I want to hear. Die
I
for the
love that
shirt.
super chat because listen,
Kill.
bury me in
Go
the
in
Sheffield
for
end.
the tackle tonight.
Bury
Make
me
sure
in the
they
Sheffield
feel
end.
it.
I saw a video earlier today, and somebody said it's like a debate. It was like, would you rather win today, watch United again, or lose today, but you can watch United for the rest of your life? And I said, look,
I'd go Lewis.
whatever, bury me in the Sheffield end, innit? Like, bury me in the Sheffield end. That's my answer, innit? Like, I would rather watch United for the rest of my life. That's it. I want to be like on my deathbed in the United top. That's how it's got to be for me. And so yes, we might end up losing today's game, but I feel like United is part of life. It's a culture. You know what I mean? So I mean, debate in the comments in the chat. Which one would you rather do? Win today or never watch United? Win today and never watch United ever again, or you lose today but you can watch United for the rest of your life? I think that's a deep question to me. What would you say about that actually?
If I was a player, I'm winning today and never playing United for the rest of my life. That's the mentality I'm taking into it as a player. So, yeah, I'll approach it as a fan as well as a player. I'm on board with them.
Couple more super chats in here from Nasir. He says, United 7-1 Roma. What a game. You remember that game? I don't even remember.
The 2006 one?
Yeah.
What's highlights?
It was a Roma team that had Rossi and Totti. Yeah, I think Fergie actually said that was the best game he's ever seen.
Carrick played blinded, didn't he?
Yeah. Honestly, one of them. I watched the highlights again like the other day. You know when you're just watching random Champions League highlights? But yeah, that was an amazing game. And another super chat from John Robert. Spurs pace will scare Casemiro potentially. I mean, we're going to get into that later on. But look, that's a good debate to be fair. But a lot of people saying lose. They'd rather just lose today and they can watch United forever. But I mean, going back to some of the other games that people say, someone said they're too young but to have witnessed 99, but I bet it's magical. Yeah, that's probably one of the United games I look back and I think, I wish I was just there. I wish, like, Ricky was there, he's got remember the photos on the group chat? I wish you could bring the photos up.
What's Gordy's going with?
But he has pictures from him at the final.
Come on, time is precious, guys. We're 25 minutes left and then we're out.
And it just looked like one of the best moments.
3-1 or 2-1 to United. Bruno scoring first tonight will do the job, and
they have forever.
I believe I have to keep faith.
But look, let's move on.
I believe we'll get the job done tonight. 2-1 or 3-1. Bruno scores in first, and just in case Bruno doesn't score, 3-2 Garnacho, 3-2 Highland, 3-2 Diallo, 2-1 Bruno, 3-1 Bruno. I'm shitting myself, but I'm looking forward to watching it. You know, I'm watching it with my son and my kids. And
it's a league almost. It's a bit of a change of a format. I don't really remember the FC 20 game because it was my birthday. I was on holiday, so I didn't actually watch it. I watched like highlights, but I didn't watch the actual game.
I was there.
You was there?
Yeah,
okay,
so
fair enough.
I think we were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
I think we balls.
No. The FC 20 game. FC 20 game was 1-1.
Oh, was it what? We were 1-0 up then, sorry. Yeah, we were 1-0 up. And then we should have put the game to bed. We cruised and coasted, and then I think it was Ericsson or Rash, I can't remember.
Ericsson scored.
Someone slipped, and then someone just ran through the entire team and just squared it. That was a pretty annoying game to be at.
Yeah, but the next game, I think that was a bit of a... It's the first game, it's the first European game. Still at Ten Hag. It's a bit of a like September, early season. You kind of just forget about it. The second game though, Porto versus United, 3-3. What a game! Harry Maguire, last minute header, 6-goal thriller. I think that was probably the first time this season. We've had a lot of moments this season where it's like we somehow managed to come back. There it is. There's the header. Big Harry. Again, I've said it before, even forget just the Lyon game. He's been involved from the second game of the Europa League. He's been such a crucial player for us. But what was your feeling around that game? I think you were on the forum actually. Because I remember I came in, I think I produced that game actually. But what were your feelings around that game?
I remember it quite well actually. So it was a point away from home, which no matter how it happens, if you don't get beat in your away games in that format, you know, you've got 4 home games, 4 away games. As long as you don't get beat in your away games, you've got a pretty good chance of getting into your top, what is it, 16, is it? Yeah,
16 is, I think, top 8 is automatic qualification.
Yeah, then the rest of it, playoff. Actually, it was down to 24, but isn't it the 24?
Really?
So, yeah, basically, as long as you don't get beat in your away games, as long as you take something, then it's happy days. But remember there being a little bit of, I think it was the pressure was building on Tenag at the time as well. You know, some people were actually annoyed that we didn't win the game, and there were some people who were kind of like, it's a good point. So there was a bit of it was a weird place, a weird time for the fan base. I think a lot of people had already cut ties with Tenag, had already checked out. So anything they could throw against him, they would do. And I remember drawing those first 2 games. I think we were probably sat maybe 20th, somewhere around there, table, and people panic stations. Like, we're not even going to qualify.
3, 2, 1, go!
What score are you going with tonight? Here, let me know. Anybody put any bets on? Finn, have you put any bets on?
Let's play with National Lottery scratch cards.
Good evening and welcome to the Manchester United Matchday -1 UEFA Europa League 2025 final. We're joined by players Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire, as well as coach Ruben Amorim. Questions please in either English, Spanish or Basque, and answers will be given in one of the same languages. Over to you. Thanks.
Me no español, señor. Me no speak español.
Hi Ruben.
Buenos
Just wondering
días.
how the team's looking. We saw
¿Cómo
your
está?
training earlier, and Delo and Xerxes. I don't think we were expecting him to be involved.
Two beers,
when he was
por
out for the
favor.
rest of the season.
Buenos
So what's the
noches.
situation there? Me neither. So they recovered quite well. They push. Of course, we respect the feeling of the player, but we push a little bit.
You need to push
Da
a bit
igual que
harder.
Samuel título al Chacheco.
We can do to be better.
What
than the
score
last
are you
2
going
games.
with?
So that was my focus, and not the last time that we won a cup. Alex. Question for Harry. Winning 3 trophies in 3 seasons would be a great achievement, but I think one of the things that frustrates the United fans is the team seem to have the capability to turn into performance in these big finals and big matches, but not week in, week out. Is that a frustration that's shared in the dressing room, and how would you solve that moving forward? Yeah, of course.
Consistency, tenacity, commitment, dedication, you know, give everything for your shirt, man.
We know that. The Europa League has been different. We've performed at a high level, and we have proven again this season that we can beat anybody. So, no, I'm sure next season we will improve an awful amount. A full
You couldn't
pre-season.
need them, mate. You'd be
As
sacked.
players, we are looking forward to that. But we've got a big game tomorrow night, and that's first and foremost. And it's a special night. It's a special occasion, and we've prepared well the last few days, and it's one that we're looking forward to. Take one over here.
Another question for Harry. My name is Omar Katuba, omarsports.com. How does it feel like to be performing and earning the plaudits of Manchester United fans once again after a very toxic beginning?
No, it's amazing to be back in the team and playing regularly. This season I've played a lot.
I'm just hoping we win tonight.
If
any of you put a bet on, let us know, will you? What score are you going with?
When you play for this club, you can be an amazing player, and the following week you can be the villain. So that's part and parcel of playing for this club.
Football's all about 2 things, heroes and villains. Tonight someone's going to be a hero and someone's probably going to get sent off.
Chris.
Bruno has to score tonight. We need to score first, you know.
Please, hi Bruno. Just following on from
Or I'll ruin all me bets.
You've played in some big games at this club over the past 5 years or so. In terms of what's at stake this season and at stake next season,
How big is
does
tonight?
this game compare to other ones so far?
One of the biggest we've played in.
Every game that you have a chance to win a trophy is very big. But a part of that, every game at this club is massive. As Harry just said, this club is so big that from 1 week you can be the hero and the next one you're the villain. So we just play as a players. We just think of what we have ahead of us, and what we have ahead of us is a chance to get our hands on a trophy. It won't change the past. It won't affect what the past has done to us on tomorrow neither. But what can affect is the future? Probably yes. Obviously, winning a competition gives you more. Gives a lot of things. In this case, you get a place in the Champions League. He gets a lot of revenue for the club. He gets
score he's going with? Anybody got a
players
prediction
to
for
come
me?
to the club. What
Before
I
I
think
fuck off.
at this club, it
I'm gonna
doesn't
watch the
change
build up.
much in that aspect, because I think every player wants to play for Man United, and it's a thing that will never change, because the name of this club, it speaks for himself. But the main thing for us is to focus on what we have ahead of us. That is a massive final against a team that we know very well, but in a competition that is very different of the Premier League. So it's going to be a completely different game.
One at the back. Down to speed. 3, 2, 1, action.
So
I'm going with 2-1 and 3-1. I have about 5 bets there. Only small bets, not big ones. Only little man bets.
Harry, in recent games, we've seen some really inspirational moves from you. I mean, your dribbles on the wing, your runs against Athletic Bilbao, for example. Is that some new part of tactical system, or is that your pure courage, inspiration of something like that? Thanks.
the manager asked me dribbling every day in training up and down the wing. No, listen, I found myself on the wing against Bilbao. I managed to put a good cross in. And Casta scored the goal. But, no, someone just asked me before that. Obviously, I've gone up front in the later minutes of the game. Tomorrow night, hopefully, I'm not going up front. I don't want to be going up front and chasing a game. I want to be defending a lead from my position in defence. So,
let's hope you get that lead tonight.
To do my best.
What's your predictions for tonight's game, guys? Like I said, 15 minutes left and then I'm fucking off. You know, I'm gonna watch the build up, but I'm praying tonight that United win. I couldn't give a fuck about me bet. You know, as long as we do the job tonight and we beat Spurs, shout out to Pablo. Good luck, bro. My arse is gone already. You know, like I said, football. Tonight it's gonna be about two kind of individuals, heroes and villains. Tonight someone's gonna be a hero and someone's gonna be a villain. You know, either someone's gonna get a penalty and they miss. You know, I'm just praying Bruno slots the first one home. If we get the first goal, I reckon we'll win the game. It's like, but like I said, football, it's a 90-minute game. You know, you can score a goal in 1 minute. You know, so we've got 90 opportunities tonight. So to hit that goal once, at least, you know, I said 2-1 today, and then this afternoon I was shifting to 3-1. It's like, but I'm in between the two of them. The midget has had a bet. She's bet Diallo to score in 3-2. She picked her own result. Lisa has gone with Garnacho and 3-2, 145-1. I've gone with Bruno 2-1, Bruno 3-1, and I've put Rasmus Højlund on as just a fucking side bet. You know, I don't care about the bets as long as we win the game. How are you, Fred? Like, I went down to bookies today, right? I'm not joking you. I spent a £5. You know, I just had a look at 5 different scorecasts, and like, I've got Bruno to score first and 2-1. I've got Bruno to score first and 3-1. I've got Garnacho to score first and 3-2. I've got Diallo to score first and 3-2. And I've got Rasmus Højlund to score first and 3-2. I'm not asked about the bet, Fred, as long as we win. You know, it's been a long season. It's like, you know, and just winning tonight, it's not going to make up for the season we've had. It's the worst I've ever, other than pre-Alex Ferguson. I come to Manchester in June of '93. And since I've been here, I've never seen a Man United team in this place at this time of the season. Just about when everything, like we're going into the World Cup, you know, But I said today, I'm just going to go down and put a couple of bets on, you know, just a pound here, a pound there. You know, I remember many years ago, in my whole life, I used to spend a lot more than that on the bookies, put it that way. You know, but it leveled out eventually. You know, like things that I used to get adrenaline out of. Bets, gambling. My dad was a gambler. Now, I'm not. I have taken gambles, but I wouldn't say I'm a gambler. And tonight, like I said, me missus, I got the family involved. I said, right, love, go on, pick a score. Give me a player and a score. So Lisa has gone with Garnacho. I only put a pound on each one, Fred. I spent a fiver and I did 5 scorecasts. You know, like, it makes it a bit more interesting, you know. It's like I couldn't give a fuck about the bet, if the fairness was be told. I just want us to win. You know, Sean Wayne, I know you're watching tonight. I hope we win too. You know, Spencer, I'm praying we win. Finn, I'm praying we win. Pablo, I hope I'm praying you lose. This is the only time me and Pablo will fall out. You know, tonight, you're not my brother if you win, right? Leave me alone. But congratulations if you lose. You know, oh man, it's been long. I'd be just like, here, I'll get it out of the way. You know. 210 on the oh, that's lovely. That, like I said, I don't gamble. Like, I don't have betting apps and shit on my phone. You know, it wasn't good for me. You know, I remember. Right, I'll tell you this, Fred. Right, I remember about 10 years ago, I was in hospital. I was at against sectioned. And I had a bit of time on my hands, so I downloaded a couple of gaming apps, or gambling apps like Betfred and William Hill and Paddy Power, and at the time they were doing, like, you know, if you join, you get a bonus, or you get a few free bets. So I joined Paddy Power, William Hill, all them, and you know them, that bastard roulette. You know, I've lost me arse on it. It's like, I don't play it anymore. Now, today, it's like I said, everything is about experience in life. Gambling can become an addiction, just like drugs, you know. And with all the betting apps where you can cash out and all this shit, I remember having a few apps and how easy it is now to put bet years. Like, the last time I won a bet, right, Fred, was with me lad. And we done a scorecast, yeah? We picked 7 teams. We both done the identical bet, yeah? My lad done me a 7 team, and he done the exact same bet, right? So it was like 370 to 1. What am I on about? 370 to 1. My bad, sorry. So, right, so if this bet come in, both of us won £347 each, right? 6 of our teams, we got a result, yeah? And we were waiting for Fulham to win, right? In the 93rd minute, Berbatov scored, bro, right? Me lad's on the phone, Dad. You know, I can hear me lad going crazy. You know, I know it's only a small amount, but when you beat the bookie, it's a nice feeling, you know. My dad spent his arse in a gambling shop, you know. He always had a paper in his hand, you know, and he used to say to me, I'm doing the crossword, you know what I mean? But well, you hear this, right? I used to work in a place called Cucina up in Reddish in Manchester, yeah. Cucina translated kitchen in Italian, okay? and I was working with all these lads from Preston, right? And me gaffer was South African, but he was white, not black, South African, white, yeah? Great gaffer, right? And I remember all the lads having all these betting apps on their fucking phone. Half the day, right? They're putting bets on while we're at work, right? Me fucking gaffer, yeah? He knew nothing about gambling. Wait till you hear this, right? He knew nothing about gambling, yeah? So, a few of the lads in the morning, they were picking like a couple of horses, and they were winning a few quid. So my boss started saying, much did you win? So my boss downloaded this app, right? And about 6 weeks into him downloading all these apps and what have you, right? He picked up form where he could read fucking, you understand, crazy, right? I come in one morning, one of them says, do you hear much what Warwick won? I was like, nah, 19 grand. I was like, fuck off, bro. He said, I swear to God, bro, 11 teams he's picked. And they all come in. I was like, fuck off. He said, go over to him. Had a big smile on his face. I was like, all right, gaffer, I heard you hit a number last night. He said, check this out, Jude. It's like 13 teams or 11 teams, something stupid like that, right? So what he done was, he picked 6 football teams, 3 horses, a boxing result, and something else, like something mad like that, yeah? He showed me. He opened up his fucking Paddy Power account, man. 18 and a half grand. I was like, fuck off, bro. He's like, there it is there, look. I was like, he said, I withdrew 18 grand this morning, bro. It's in my bank. I was like, you jammy bastard. And this cunt had money, you know. He was a Michelin star chef. Owned his own restaurant and all, you know. But he was a great gaffer. Knew nothing about gambling. Within 3 months, all the Preston lads, they had them fucking... You understand? And he was winning all the time. I was like... You know, when you get some people and they're naturally gifted at something that they never knew they were good at. This cunt, I couldn't believe it. 13 results. Bim, 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 bim. The night before, yeah, I offered him 5.5 grand to cash out. And he was going to cash out. He said, fuck it, I'll wait. You know, I'll wait. He waited 18.5 grand. I was like, you jammy bastard. You're paying for the muffins today, fuckface. You know? Oh, man. Like, now, that's probably the biggest one now. I've been around a lot of lads that have gambling apps and shit, but I've never known one of them to get, like, 11 results. You know, like 3 different sports, like football, boxing, and fucking something else, you know. But 18.5 grand. He's like, do you know what I'm doing? And I was like, what? He said, not telling me wife. I was like, okay. He said, I'm going to surprise her. You know, she's wanted to go over to America to see her auntie or fucking something like that. So we bought his missus tickets and shit, like, you know, and surprised her. You know, I thought it was a lovely fucking, like, a lovely gesture, you know. Like, the auntie was in America fucking sick, and I believe God did that, you know. You know, insane. And here, do you want to hear the mad bit? His missus goes over to America, right? He gave her about 6 grand of the money, yeah? She spent $1,000 in a casino and ended up winning 22 grand. So that's 40 grand between the two of them in like 4 or 5 weeks. You know, like, she didn't gamble either. She put a fucking $10 bill in a fucking machine and boom, £22,000. Some people are just lucky. You know, I don't even think it's down to luck. It's just how the numbers come out. You know, but between him and his missus, within 2 weeks, they'd nearly 36,000. You know, It's like, but he was a good fella, like, you know, he was one of the best gaffers I ever worked for. He was very generous as well. He treated everyone, like there was 12 of us in that kitchen, yeah, and he treated us all. He didn't have to give any of us fuck all, like he gave us all a couple of £100 each, you know what I mean? Oh, here, on Friday before we left work here, what's that for? Get yourself a pint over the week, or get yourself a gram juice, or in fact, get yourself 3 here. You know, great gaffer, like one. Know how we're here? Do you know how we start talking? I'm in having a shite one morning, right? I can hear this cunt 7 o'clock. I didn't know who he was. I hadn't been introduced to him yet. I'm in the toilet Monday morning. I was bollocks, I was, from the weekend. That'd have been on the MD, right? MDMA, right? So I can hear this. I'm not fucking stupid, right? I know what that fucking sound is, right? Especially in the... Now, either the cunt has the flu or... So, I flushed the chain, then I heard his chain flush, and we both come out at the same time, so I'm washing me fucking hands, and there's big fucking mirrors in front of us, yeah? My man's got snow all over his nose. I'm like, bro, wipe your nose before you go down there. If my gaffer sees that, he'll fuck you out. He said, fucking don't worry about your gaffer. I was like, who the fuck are you? You know, he said, what part of the building do you work in? I said, I'm in Kachina. He said, I'm your new gaffer. I said, fuck off. He said, you want one? I was like, fuck yeah. You know, like 7 o'clock in the morning, get some of that flake into you, bro. You're my boss. I like you already. You know. I was like, I thought he was winding me up, you know. 2 weeks later, he was me gaffer. He got, like, he poached me. I was working for an agency. He said to me, fuck that agency off, and I'll take it on. You know, I was with an agency for ages. I was fucking washing pots. He took me out of a fucking kitchen washing pots and taught me how to be a chef. Do you understand? For 7 years, you know, here, me whites with me names on them and all. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm a part of KP. He's like, no, you're not anymore, bro. I've seen the way you go through them lobster. Hey, you know, my lads from Preston, bro, been doing this for years, and none of them can do it like you. You're going to save me time, and guess what else you're going to do? I said, what? You're going to jump ship. We've just got a major contract from Iceland, and I need you to do them lobster the way you do them every week, and you'll get a pay rise. I'm in. Sign me up. Ring your agency due. Tell them you're going back to Ireland, because if I take you on, I'll have to pay them a 20% fee. So my gaffer would have them to pay them $2,000 or something. You know, something stupid like that. Not a lot of money, but yeah. So I told him I was going back to Dublin, and he took me on. I tell you what, it's one of the best jobs I've ever done. You know, like he believed in team and teamwork, you know, and bonding as a team. He used to have, like, do you understand? We go places together, we'd eat together, we'd fucking, you know, like, I work with lads from Italy, Spain, Germany, Poland, Finland, Sweden, Austria, a few Scots, a South African. Like, that taught me, like I said, I already knew how to use a knife because of previous jobs I did before I went there. You know, I'd worked as a kid and I did an apprentice butchery, and then I took it up again when I come to the UK. I went and worked in an abattoir, and because of what I learned as a kid, I ended up using it and becoming a precision butcher in Dalehead Fields in Ashton. You know, it was a great job. You know, production bonus and all. But some of the lads, man, you needed to motivate them. Listen to me, dickhead. You're interfering with me getting an extra fortune on my wages every month. You know, I'm hungover. Well, then go home. Do you understand? I'm not interested. Bro, what you being a prick for? It's Monday. Bro, because of you, we're gonna lose money. Because of your bullshit. So it's like I was just good at making decisions, you know, and I've been section leader, supervisor, I've in loads of different roles I've done. Because you can, like, you know, you tell me how to do something once, it registers. Do you understand? And if it's gonna fuck with me and my wages at the end of the month, well, yeah, I can't let that happen. I've got kids to feed. You know, so if you're my gaffer or if I'm your boss, you'll do as I fucking say. And if you want to be a dick about it, go home. Because you're affecting the whole line. Do you understand? You're affecting the whole line, bro. You're interfering with our production bonus, so fuck off the line. You know, unclip your harness and fuck off home. You're a liability when you're in that state. The smell of drink off you, bro. Go home. Yeah, but bro, I can't have a day's wages off. That's not my fault. Do you understand? There's 60 lads on that line, including me. And you know what? There's another 1,200 people in the factory that want to be on that line. And 59 of yous are on there. You get paid more money than anybody in here, even including the bosses. Do you understand the volume of meat we were banging out on a fucking up and Dalehead fields? 2,200 pigs a day they were killing. Right? Do you understand the volume of meat? Like coming down 6 different production lines. And at the end of my line was a big fuck off bandsaw. So basically, this is a pig. Yeah, it comes down the line. I grab it by its hind legs like that and pull it through. Yeah, one bit goes that section, one bit goes that section. You know, and the way they had it, man, it was like a joint train set over your head. Like they had this fucking system in place, right? Where, you know, them lasers, not lasers, what's it called? You know, where it scans them and fucking. But the way it was set up, man, it's like my job was to separate a pig in half and run one leg up one line and one up the other. And it'd be taken off, it'd be split in half, shoulder taken off, leg taken off. Do you understand? And it's like, boom. And it's like, it was like a big joint train set the way they had it set up. You know, it was some fucking system, man. You know, but guys, listen, I'm going to fuck off because the game's going to be, the build-up's going to be on soon. Pablo, good luck tonight. I've done 5 bets. Well, I've done 2. The girls have had 1. Lisa has gone 3-2 Garnacho. Guys, I'm going to go. My phone's going to die. And I hope we win tonight. God bless.